People obsess over the amount of protein that they're getting. The actual requirement for protein that you need that covers about 98% of the population, that can be met with 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, which most people would not consider much. That means the average man would need about 56 grams of protein a day, the average woman about 46, which most people would say is not much. But that is an average need with a big buffer in it. The people that are going to need more are going to be people that are very active, that are just going to naturally eat more, covering those protein needs. And the average person is getting way beyond that 0.8 grams per kilogram a day. It's probably more like 1.3 to 1.5 to 1.6 grams per day without even thinking about it, just eating the standard American diet. Now, if you're a weightlifter trying to get as bulky as possible, probably the absolute most that you would need to optimize your growth, the absolute most is probably about 1.7 grams per kilogram per day. Now, if you're working out like crazy, you're just going to eat more. So you're going to meet that quite readily without even necessarily taking a protein supplement. So another thing to keep in mind is that people that consume a lot of animal protein long term will tend to have worse renal function. And I see this at work almost every single day, maybe a couple times a day, where before a CAT scan is done, that's been requested to be done with IV contrast. If you hit a certain age and have certain medical conditions, they'll check the renal function by a blood test called creatinine, and there's an algorithm where you can figure out what's called the GFR, which is a reflection of how well your kidneys are functioning. Like I say, almost every day, somebody comes through that their kidneys are not functioning optimally, and therefore the question is, should they even get the contrast, should we modulate the dose or whatever? These are people that are just walking around, don't even necessarily know that they have a problem with their kidneys. And long term, like I said, people that eat animal protein throughout their life, they lose renal function faster than people that eat plant-based protein. The other thing is the animal protein promotes kidney stones, which if you've ever had a kidney stone, it's a hellish experience. Now, people obsess about protein. There's no advantage in taking excess. Your body has no capacity to store it. You can store fat, you can store carbohydrate to a limited degree. You cannot store protein. And what happens with excess protein is the nitrogen portion is pulled off the molecule. Your kidneys have to deal with that, so it's not stress to your kidneys. And if the protein is excessive calories above and beyond what you need for maintenance, it's just basically going to be stored as fat.